Welcome back to the land of the seven suns with Fishy Plantman as your host. Okay, well, I've done it. I have got some new equipment. This bar goes all the way down, touches that, but it goes up. Yeah, it's collected all that gunk on it. But it goes up to a new system. There we go. I've even got a bio wheel with this one. I thought, since I'm replacing equipment, I would replace it with something I haven't worked with before. Get a rounded, Can't really talk about things like bio wheels if I don't ever run one. So this time we're running a Penguin. What is it? Marineland Penguin 175 for, looks like 30-gallon aquarium. And we're running it on a 10-gallon. Yep. So it's a little bit bigger. Technically, it's a little bit smaller than the old one. But I think the bio wheel, if I can keep it going, will be more beneficial than just a pad in the back. Why do I say this? Well, it all goes back to oxygen. If you remember very old videos, I rooted some plants via water, and most people don't put an air stone. I've got this air stone. We'll come down here and have a look. Yeah, there's the air stone. Most people don't run that when they're just rooting plants. I did. I think it comes back to oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. Not only for plants, plenty of oxygen in the water for your plants. There's the Lucky Bamboo in the back of the new filter. Those roots are going to need plenty of oxygen. But so is the bacteria that keeps the system going. So I think even though this entire system is a little smaller than the other one, I think that bio wheel is going to be more effective, provided I can keep it turning, than the carbon pad in the back. Which I didn't put the carbon pad in the back. I just got the plants back there. Which is why it doesn't have a lid. Can't very well run a lid with plants growing out of the back. So, I think this will be more beneficial if I can keep that wheel turning. I also think that part of the problem with the wheels stopping is the carbon pad in the back. As it gets clogged with whatever, bits of fish food and things, it clogs. That's the whole point of taking it out and rinsing it periodically, is it clogs. Well, as it clogs, it slows the water down. And that, I think, is the biggest culprit of stopping that wheel. If the water doesn't have enough pressure, it can't turn it. So without the pad, it used to have, the old one had a pad. This one, I didn't put the pad in. It's just got the plant in the back. And then this wheel, which I'll set back down, release it, and away it goes. So without that pad in the back, it shouldn't ever slow down to stop the wheel. That's the Fishy Plantman's theory. So hopefully it'll keep turning. We will see. But there's the new filter. And I've never really been a fan of that motor being down in the water. But with the exception of having a hard time figuring out what I was going to do, how I was going to work this tubing. See, it's all the way down on the pot. In part so fish can't swim up the tubing, and I don't know, I think the smaller fish probably still can. There's still a pretty small one in the tank. There's a couple of real little ones in the tank. The bigger ones should be fine. But with the exception of that being difficult because everything wanted to be too long, I don't know. I thinking I might decide that the in-water pumps ain't so bad. I turned it on, and before I could get to my jug, it's like a mason jar with a handle, to prime it. I plugged it in, went for the jug to prime it, and all of a sudden it started running. It did like a true prime on itself. I normally figure priming the filter involves covering the impeller on the inside so that at least that is covered, and then when the power goes out it can come back on if there's enough strength. But a filter that truly primes itself, well, that would just be like a plug and play. You don't put any water back there at all. That's what this did. I plugged it in, and before I could get the water to prime it even a little bit, it was already running. So that I may like. Because like that other one, it can go through a power outage, come back and run. Matter of fact, the old one was the only one that self-started in the last blackout. The other two new ones, one of which I gave up on, but we'll come down here and look. This one, now I had to restart it. It couldn't even somewhat prime itself. But the old one in here did. And the other one that failed to prime itself was a smaller version of that. Or maybe a little bit bigger version. I'm not sure. But those two failed to prime themselves. Or restart themselves. This one started itself with no priming at all. Now, some might say you should at least somewhat prime it. Okay. I'm just saying what happened. I plugged it in and all of a sudden it was running. No moving water into the filter from my end at all. So that is that. Doesn't have anything but the bio wheel in the plant as far as media is concerned. Yet I think this one will be more efficient because of all the oxygen getting to the bacteria that grows on the wheel. So smaller filter, but I think it will ultimately be a better filter. The other thing that I replaced is the heater. Now that's just cause, forgive those straight. That is not fishing line. No. I think is what that is the inside, so to speak, of a Phalaenopsis leaf. Because I do toss a Phalaenopsis leaf in from time to time and let them break down. And, yeah. Just different things I do. So I got those sticks. Just to let some bacteria grow on them. I don't know. I let the quality of the fish speak for itself. Huh. I think the video just stopped. A little bit of natural in there, but yeah, I think the fish benefit from, some things breaking down a little bit. So that's that. But the heater, I think, looks nicer than the old one. All right, you want to see what the temp is? There you go. That's the temperature of my aquarium. There's its light. It's working. So now we'll just see if we can focus in on some fish a little bit. Everybody's going to swim out of the shot? Sure. It's so hard to focus on fish. But there they are. Yep. Of course that thing's going to float by. Okay, there's all the fish. Talk to you next time.